Hey everyone, Jason here, and welcome back to the layout. In my last video, we looked at the 3 largest steam locomotives in my collection. You all seemed to really like that video, and I'm not surprised. Those 3 steam engines are very cool and unique in their own way. So what are we going to do today? We're going to do a complete 180, and we're going to look at the most boring engines in my collection. Wait, what? Yes, you heard correctly. The most boring engines in my collection. What do I mean exactly? Well, if you've watched my channel for a while, you'll know that I'm a big fan of the Norfolk Southern Railway, and the engines in my collection reflect that. So much, in fact, that my friends love to tease me about how all I buy is plain black and white Norfolk Southern engines.
You know, one of the things I love most about JDStucks is how original he is in picking out trains. Buy that same engine. It's a good engine.
I don't have a problem, I don't have a problem. I don't have a problem, I don't have a problem. So today, I'm going to embrace that boringness. Today, I'm going to show you all of the Norfolk Southern engines in my collection and run them around the layout. No heritage units, no special paint schemes, just plain black and white boring Norfolk Southern engines. So sit back and relax as we take a look at the most boring engines in my collection right now on Jason's O-Gauge Trains. Before we dive in, I want to remind everyone that I will be attending the TCA York Train Show in York, Pennsylvania this October. I will be there all 3 days, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, which is the 20th, 21st, and 22nd. But that's not all. During the York Train Show, me, Chris from RBP Trains, Eric Siegel from Eric's Trains, and Norm Charbonneau from Norm's Trains will be hosting a social media mixer in the Orange Hall meeting room that will take place on Saturday, October 22nd from 10 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. Whether you enjoy trains on YouTube, Instagram, online forums, or Facebook, it'll be a great opportunity for folks to meet up, get to know one another, and you don't need to have a social media presence to attend. All are welcome. So I hope to see you there. It's going to be a great time. It'll be a great chance for us all to chat it up. Okay, back to the boring engines. I'm going to start by showing you these 4 locomotives in front of me because they've all been added to the collection within the last few months and I haven't officially debuted them in a previous video. We're going to start with this one. This is an MTH Premier Line SD70 ACE cab number 1030. I actually purchased this engine from RBP Trains on YouTube. I guess one Norfolk Southern engine was one too many for Chris. It's okay. RBP can't hurt you any longer. You're safe now. This makes the 3rd Norfolk Southern SD70 ACE in my collection. It's a great locomotive. 1030 was the locomotive that was used at the Roundhouse photo shoot when all the Norfolk Southern heritage units were originally debuted and photographed. And in all seriousness, thanks to Chris from RBP Trains for selling this to me. It's a great locomotive. Next is this MTH Premier Line SD40E, which is the first SD40E in my collection. Funny enough, it was cataloged as an SD50 and even boxed as an SD50, but you can clearly see on the cab of the locomotive itself, SD40E. Plus it shows up as SD40E in the DCS remote. Kind of odd. This has been one of my favorite engines that I've added to the collection recently, and I actually purchased it from Trains.com. Trains.com is a great website for purchasing new and used model trains in all scales from all manufacturers. And if you shop at Trains.com using my affiliate link in the description of this video, or simply use promo code JDStucks at checkout, not only will you be supporting this channel, but you'll receive $10 off of your next online order. That's promo code JDStucks for $10 off of your next order at Trains.com. That's Trains with a Z. Moving on, we have this MTH Premier Line -8 in the older Norfolk Southern paint scheme, which means no horse head logo on the side and no white painted cab across the top. I remember wanting to purchase one of these when it was brand new, but at the time I instead opted for the Pennsylvania Railroad E8s that are in the engine shed behind me. But a seller on Facebook posted this one recently, so I jumped at the opportunity the second time around. And finally, this fourth locomotive was also purchased from that same Facebook seller. This is an MTH Premier Line ES44 with Protosound 3.0. In fact, all of these engines are equipped with MTH's Protosound 3.0. These ES44s are somewhat hard to come by these days, so when it was offered to me at a decent price, I had to jump on this one as well. So before we run these four locomotives around the layout, let's do a quick overview and count of how many boring Norfolk Southern trains I have in the collection. Let's start over here with the auto rack train. Here's the Dash 8 that we just looked at, and behind it is an MTH Premier Line SD50. It's equipped with Protosound 3.0, and it's configured to run long hood forward, and you can tell because the cab figure is facing the opposite direction. If we move this way, wow, look at this sea of Norfolk Southern. Let's start with this mixed freight train right here. We have an SD80 Mac, an SD70 ACE, and then this is the ES44 we looked at earlier. All three of these are equipped with MTH's Protosound 3.0. And now let's look at this 4-engine consist. This is currently pulling my intermodal train. On the head end is another ES44, Protosound 3.0. Then another ES44. This has Protosound 2.0. Then another SD50. This is a Proto 2 engine as well. And finally a Dash 8, also with Protosound 2.0. If I look towards the back of the layout really quick, up top, this is the SD40E that we looked at, and behind it is an SD60E, both of those equipped with MTH's Protosound 3.0. If we come back to the front of the layout, pulling the oil train, this is number 1030 that we just looked at, the one I got from RBP Trains, and then another SD70 ACE behind it, both of these equipped with Protosound 3.0. Behind these two units in my little yard area is a genset switcher. This is MTH Premier equipped with Protosound 2.0. Coming back to the front, we have these two engines. Now, I know the Operation Lifesaver, some people might consider that a heritage unit. I do not, because there were quite a few of them painted in this paint scheme. So this is going to be part of the Norfolk Southern count. This is MTH Premier, it's a Dash 9, that's right, almost forgot. It's a Dash 9 with Protosound 3.0, and behind it is a Dash 8, standard cab Dash 8, or narrow nose as some people call them. That's also equipped with Protosound 3.0. Moving back up to the top level, both of these Jeeps have MTH Protosound 3.0. The one in the front is a GP40, and the one behind it is a GP38, if I'm not mistaken. And then way back there on the switch, that is an MTH Rail King Scale SW1500 switcher that has MTH's Protosound 3.0. And finally, we move on to the Norfolk Southern F units. And I decided to include these in the count as well because they're black and white Norfolk Southern paint scheme. And both of these are equipped with Protosound 3.0. And I do say both of these because both A units are their own separate powered units. They each have their own boards, sound sets, smoke units. They can be run independently of each other. So I don't know if any of you have been counting up to this point, but if we count the two A units as their own individual locomotive, we are up to 21 Norfolk Southern diesels in the collection. But wait, there is one more to add to that count. If we come over here to the engine shelf, there's another set of Norfolk Southern F units. This is MTH's PS2 version, and it's semi-retired in my collection. I've done a video on why I have purchased a second set of these F units, the ABBA. Again, these still work, they're just semi-retired, and I count this as one individual locomotive because unlike the other set, you can only run the second A unit if you have it connected to the first A unit. So I'm counting this one as one locomotive, and that brings the grand count to 22 boring Norfolk Southern diesels in the collection. Okay, now that we've looked at all of my latest boring purchases, let's have some fun and run all of my Norfolk Southern trains around the layout. So there you have it, the most boring trains in my collection. Of course, I have plenty of colorful locomotives in the rest of my collection, but I'll always be tempted to buy just one more boring black and white Norfolk Southern engine. But hey, it's what I grew up seeing as a kid, and it's what I enjoy running. Hopefully you thought that was a good bit of fun. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Leave questions and comments below and I'll do my best to answer them. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope to see a bunch of you at York. My name's Jason. See you next time. I don't have a problem. 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 I don't have a problem.